Here's what I'm dropping off. It's a building set, you know. It's the erector set for adults, I guess. There's a crane on the other side, and there's a building that they're working on this pad site. And there's the road I came up from down the mountainside. And luckily I called ahead of time to find out how to get to this spot. And so far so good. The funny thing is that at the bottom of the hill there is no cell phone signal. At the top of the hill, and I'm assuming it's because of my cell phone signal booster antenna, here at this location I have 4G at this elevation, but down there in that gully, nothing. So anyway, I was able to utilize low gear, locked my differentials, and came up the hill with no problem. Though I was a little bit worried because I wasn't sure if I was going to have to continue up the side of the mountain to get to the other side. There's a windmill farm on the other side, from what I understand. This is going to be a power substation or something like that. Anyway, that's it for right now. They've got to unload. We'll see how long that takes and where they send me from here. But this is near, you can see some windmills up there. I am I can't remember, it's West Virginia. I can't remember the name of the closest town. Pretty driving scenery though. Well, this is hopefully that that clears up. I press record and it gets all blurry. Near there, it kind of focuses. Mount Storm Lake. Sorry, it's shaky. This is Corridor H, I guess is what it's called, or Highway 48. Power Station Highway, I don't know. Mount Storm Lake. This is West Virginia. And on the side of this hill, and I guess there's a bunch of windmills up on that side, and you can see off in the distance there if it focuses. It may take a while because it, you know, it's got to take its time. It's electronics, they're working at the speed of light. There. See the windmills up there? So that's what this is a connection for. We will see. I have a feeling this is going to take a while. They're unloading a few pieces at a time with a crane. You can see the crane there, and they're operating it with some, as you can see, those two pole lines, and there's a lot of individual pieces on here, so if they're going to pull them off one or two or three at a time, it'll still take a little bit of time, which is no big deal. Be interested to see what I get next. I'm thinking I can pull out of here just by going this way and then back down the road. There's a big enough turn off down at the bottom of the hill that I should be able to park on the side and wait for my next assignment. I'm assuming my satellite reception will receive it, because right now it's iffy on cell phone reception at this particular location. So you can see I'm surrounded by hills all around. Lots of water trucks, lots of cement trucks, dump trucks, and every once in a while an 18-wheeler with an RGM trailer pulling up parts for windmills. And so we'll see what we get next. I'm hoping it heads towards St. Louis, because I was thinking I was getting a load prior to this one that was taking me to Michigan, and then at least that was on the way home, but this is a very short distance west. I'm hoping to go much farther west. Pretty scenery though. Trying to hold this steady here as possible. You can see So you always see these traveling down the highway. I rarely ever see them arriving at the job site. So if I was farther in, I might actually be at a position to watch them unload. It's an interesting trailer. If you see it, its wheels are kicked out to actually steer it, the back end around the corner. That's the only one I've seen being delivered to this particular location. All the other trucks have been dump trucks and other type of construction type vehicles. I have no. Once they get up to the road, it cuts. It goes up that way a little bit, and then it cuts back up on the other side of the mountain. That was pretty. I'm too zoomed in to appropriately do that. But once it gets up to the top, then it curves back on the other side of the mountain and goes that direction. So they'll have a pretty tight turn to come up to here soon, just from looking at Google Maps before I arrived here. So we'll see what else shows up. It's about 2:30 in the afternoon Eastern time. I'm just entered, well, not just, I'm on the Indiana side of the West Virginia-Indiana border, and this is a first for me, as far as only being required to have a front tarp on. It's like a laminated beam of the complete length of the truck. It's a wood product. You can see how wide it is. I mean, it's like a, what, 4 feet by 6 inches thick. Some kind of oriented strand board / laminated beam. And you can see they are slightly different in length on a few of them. And I put what we call, oh sorry, I got an itchy eye, shouldn't have done that, gut straps through the center. It's still pretty, it's less than 6 feet tall, but I've got underneath the tarp several gut straps as well. And after they loaded it, they said, hey, you know, you only have to put a tarp on the front. I was like, oh really? Because my assignment says tarp, but it didn't specify that it was just the front. So guess my 30-minute break is up. But just to clarify, my paperwork does say front tarp only. So I'm well within my requirements. Just in case somebody was saying, hey, he's trying to get by with a swift one. Anyway, I dropped off my building set of steel building materials yesterday. And I thought I was going to get stuck in West Virginia and possibly not make it home this weekend. But shortly thereafter, I got my new assignment, which took me by to get these laminated beams. And it goes to St. Peters, Missouri, which is in a suburb of St. Louis, which is near my home, which delivers tomorrow. So with if things remain as awesome as they are right now, I may, after I drop that off, pick up a load out of Granite City that delivers on Monday somewhere. My hope is that I don't end up getting some kind of crazy assignment that says, okay, go pick this up, you know, in Kansas right now and see you next week type of thing. But usually that doesn't happen when I get an assignment like this that ends up on in that area on Friday. So that's it for now. My 30-minute break is over, and I've got another 4 hours to drive and it's only 1:30 Central Time, so I'll be done by 5 p.m. today. And it's a good day. Nothing but driving. I'll get over, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 620 miles today. You know, it's a good day. Let's see, it's 7:37 now, and this is exactly what I have on my truck. You can see it. They're long. Well, that's not exactly what I have. Those are individual I-beams. You can make it out there. Wrapped up in bundles. Mine are solid beams of laminated wood. It's about, and I described it previously, but anyway, I'm all untarped and unstrapped, waiting for them to unload me. Funny story. Let's see. I know that makes people dizzy, but that's what I like. I got a new phone. But it's the same model as I had before, which is what I wanted. I failed to set it up exactly to where you can set it up to where your phone changes time based on the cell phone tower location you're at. So when you hit the Eastern time zone and you switch cell phone towers, it corrects itself. That could be an issue if you're right on the border of Eastern and Central Standard Time. You could end up being an hour off based on your clock on your phone to what time it is actually at your location. That's not necessarily, it shouldn't be an issue here in Illinois because I'm pretty far into the Central Time Zone. But when you forget to set up your phone to automatically update time, it can be an issue. But in this case, like this morning, it wasn't necessarily an issue, other than it bothers me that I got up an hour before I needed to. Because I got up, my alarm went off at 6 a.m. because this place doesn't open up until 7. And I timed it to where I'd show up like right after they open. Well, I got to the yard and started my truck, and I'm looking at my GPS time, and I'm like, how can it only be 6 o'clock? And come to find out, I got up at 5 instead of 6, and I had to sit in my truck for a little bit because I didn't want to show up here early and before they even opened. Then you're just sitting around. So I just sat around at the yard before I started my clock, and so I'm here right as they opened after I waited, and now I'm just waiting to get unloaded. Funny story though, when you get a cell phone, make sure you set that up if you're a traveler. If you're not a traveler, like many people who barely leave their bedroom and have their TV mounted on their walls and a mini fridge on the side of your bed, you're good. You probably don't have to mess up with the time anymore. You're probably good just setting it to the time it is when you got your phone. See forklift showing up. We'll see what happens.